You know, I'm always surprised by some of the things you guys send me emails about. I mean, I knew you were all interested in pin tumblers and dimple locks and distachainer and things like that, but it turns out a lot of you guys are interested in car locks. And we're going to talk about this little guy today. This is a smart decoder, and this one happens to be for, as you saw, a Ford. Now, I've done these reviews of these before for foreign cars like BMWs, Volkswagens, Mercedes, and so forth. But a lot of you guys are interested in American locks. You want to know if there's any of these smart decoders for American car locks, and indeed there are. Here's the Ford. There you go. It's very similar in construction to those others that you've seen, and for those of you who didn't look at those, I mean, it's all solid, one piece of steel. There's no joint in the middle to connect two different pieces of steel. Really nicely done. It's got a kind of a semi-glossy finish. A couple things I really like about this. By the way, these sell for a little bit more than the Lishi tools. I think it's $17 difference. These sell for just under $100, and I think Lishis are like 83 or 84. So pretty close in price, but what do we get? And it's the same as what we got for the others. Stainless steel, and then these numbers, all the engravings on here are actually deep engraved into the steel, and then they've been filled with black paint. If I can get the camera to cooperate, very easy to read, nice high contrast. Lishi's a little bit more difficult. This one's clearly designed to last. And it's got the key number on there, so there's never any doubt. You always know exactly which one you're working with. A couple of the benefits of this over the Lishi. First of all, if you take a look at this, instead of that whole chamber being open and them leaving it up to us to kind of align everything with all of the wafers inside of there, this one has little grooves so that we're perfectly aligned with the wafers. There's never any doubt. I don't even have to use my brain. I just move it to the next slot and start picking. The other thing that's very nice about this guy is right there on the front. You see that little slot that he's moving into? I call that the parking slot. I have broken a couple of Lishis, or actually bent one and broke one, because with a Lishi, you really never know where that tip is. And if you don't pay attention and carefully align him to get him, sandwiched in between there, if you just randomly stick him and shove him in there, or if while you're sliding him in, he moves, that delicate tip is going to snag on a wafer and either bend it or break it. And trust me, I've done that a couple of times. So with this parking slot, all we do is we slide that forward, make sure he's in that groove, and he is not going anywhere. He'll slide in there without any risk at all to the tip. So very cool. The other thing I like about this, unlike the Lishi, is, let's say I'm holding it like this, and I'm going along and I'm picking it, and I actually pick it, and it starts to turn and it rotates. Well, now on the Lishi, there's nothing on the back. It's solid steel. So I have to turn my head upside down to look at the decoding on the other side, to decode the lock and write everything down. This one has the same engraving on both sides. So if you happen to turn it like that, you can very easily read your decoding from this side. So a lot of benefits to this. Personally, I think it is worth $17 not to have to turn my head upside down, but you get a lot of extra things too. Anyway, enough talk. Let's go ahead and clamp this up. I'm going to try to angle it in such a way that we focus perfectly on the face of this, and you can see exactly what I'm doing. I'll try to pick this lock, and we'll decode it too. You can see the wafers. It's brand new. I just got this. You can see the wafers. I did not cut that slot. That's the way it comes. But very, very cool. There's your bitting. And as you can see, brand new Ford key. So let's clamp it up and see what we can do. All right, guys, these are double-sided keys. They can go in either way, but what we don't know is how many wafers are manipulated by the top half of the key. Usually it's about half, so there's 8 wafers in here. Maybe 4 of them are pushed up by the top cuts, and maybe alternating wafers are pushed down by the bottom. What I'm trying to say is these are not perfectly, the keys are symmetrical, but the lock's wafers may not be. All right, we have, obviously, slid in there, so we have open in that direction. The key will not come out, and I know it's not centered. It will be in a moment. Central is ready to come out. This lock also rotates counterclockwise, so like the accessory or unlock position, I guess. So, but the key will not come out. So let's lock it up. Pull that dude out. Get this up here, and hopefully things will line up. So I'm going to park the tip so we don't get any damage, and then slide it in with no worries. I'm going to fold the tensioning arm out of my way. Now my thumb will be out of frame, but I'll be pushing against it kind of like that. I'm going to be putting pretty significant tension on this guy. Those of you who've tried to pick these type of locks with normal picks and find out how hard they are, you're going to be amazed at how easy these tools make things. It really doesn't take that much training or practice or anything. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put pretty heavy tension on it. And then I'm going to take the pick, pull it out of the park, and then slide it up and line it up with the first one, and that is number 8. Now pay attention on the top. These are engraved from 8 down to 1. Some of them go from 1 to 8. So when you decode it, that becomes really important. So I'm going to be on wafer 8, and what I'm going to do with heavy tension, I'm going to put up with pretty extraordinary pressure. Look how I'm flexing. I mean, don't bend it, but I'm really flexing that tool, and I'm not getting anything. That tells me he's on a cut 2. He probably doesn't want to go any further. Same thing on the bottom. I'm not going to force it. Again, I'm putting pretty extraordinary tension. I got to click on wafer 7. And again, flex it until it either, gets to a certain point. You say, okay, that's enough. I don't want to break it. Or until it clicks, and I got to click on that guy. So on this one, we got a cut of 1. And on the other side, we got a cut of 2, and I don't want to break it. So we're going to leave it. Move to the next slot and do the same thing. Like I said, it doesn't take a heck of a lot of skill to operate these tools. They are absolutely amazing. Okay, I felt a little fault set there, a little turn on the core. So I'm going to move back. They don't always pick in perfect order. In other words, from 8 to 1. Sometimes you got to go back 2 or 3 times. Just keep doing the same thing. Maintain the tension on your thumb, and then just basically try to, my favorite technique, bully a little bit. And at some point, got nothing there. Now I felt counter rotation right there. Oh, I got to click. I felt counter rotation. If you see that, and you probably saw the light flex a little bit, if you see counter rotation, that tells you he's probably the binder. So you can put a little extra tension on him. I got to click there too. Put a little extra tension on the arm here, and that will usually give you a click. Don't force it. I mean, the last thing you want to do is break your tool. All right, this one has fallen, so yeah, I'm not going to mess with him too much just yet. He was picked down to a 1 or 2, if I recall. All right, so let's go back and take a look again. But when I pick one of these others, there we go. When I pick one of the others, he popped back up, and he happened to be the binder, so that's why he was seizing so solidly. All right, we do have it open, and you can see it's turned. So what I'm going to do here, let me show you very quickly how to decode. It works exactly the same. I'm going to take the lock. I'm just going to turn the whole thing, and hopefully you'll be able to get a front-on view of that tool. So when the lock is in the open position, let me make sure this is angled right. That's pretty close. When it's angled right, keep it in the open position, and that will prevent the wafers from moving around. And all you've got to do is take your little pointer and put him up inside of there, and you can see, push him up to the point, and you can see on wafer number 8, I have a cut of 1 on that side, and on this side I have a cut of 2, and just write that down and keep going. Wafer 7, I got a cut of 1, again a 2, and just continue moving down. Oh, all those are 1s and 2s. They better not all be 1s and 2s. There we go. There's a 3. Just keep moving down, writing it down, and then very conveniently your Silca number is right there. Take it to your decode machine, punch the numbers in, and it'll chop you out a brand new key. Anyway, guys, these are really easy to use. $100 from Wendt. They do cost a little bit more than the Lisi, but personally I think they're absolutely worth it. I appreciate higher quality tools, and I'm willing to pay a little bit more for them. Anyway, guys, there you go. Unlock that, or lock it back up. The Smart Decoder FO38, FO38, $100 from Wendt. This will be the giveaway. This, and I'll throw in the new lock there to go along with it so you can practice. All you got to do to register for free, stick around and I will tell you how to do it. Appreciate your time, guys. Stay safe. Stay legal. All you need to do is navigate to locklab.com, the tribal website, and scroll down in the middle of the page. You'll see all the giveaway buttons, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But the one you're looking for is the Weekend Review Giveaway, purple band. Just click on it. It'll take you to the registration page. Again, scroll to the bottom, put in a good email address, so if you win, I can get in touch with you, let you know. Put in a username, doesn't matter what it is, and click Submit. When you're done, you'll get a green check mark confirming your entry. Thanks, guys.